Hi, I'm Juniper, and welcome to COVID Diaries. Thank you for being a part of telling us your story today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Kevin Quigley from Antrim, New Hampshire.
And we're talking about the experience of 2020, living through a pandemic, and what we've learned and how we've felt in that time. How has living through this experience made you feel?
It really hasn't changed me that much because I had to take all the precautions before the pandemic because of my double lung transplant.
And has the pandemic frightened you at all?
No,
What's been the most challenging part of this experience?
it really hasn't been any more of a challenge except for socialization.
Hmm. Is there someone you can't see right now who you really wish you could?
Um, Not anyone in particular.
And do you have or have you had COVID-19?
I did manage to catch it.
And what was that experience like for you?
Um, it was more like a bad cold. I really didn't have a bad case of it, but I had a fever for 2 days. And I had fatigue for about 10 days.
And as being someone who had a double lung transplant, do you feel like that made your situation helped or hindered?
Well, I don't know, maybe the medication helped. It was supposed to be pretty much a death sentence if I got it, but it wasn't.
What gave you hope and comfort through the time when you were sick?
Jesus.
And did this experience change you?
Yes.
In what way?
I grew up a little. I became more mature in my outlooks on certain.
Mm. What do you think out of that is the most valuable thing to you that you learned through the process?
Not to be as selfish.
Mm. And is there anything that you would want to say to me, given what we're living through at this moment with the pandemic?
Wash your hands.
Very good advice. Who do you worry the most about in your family or friends right now?
Probably my children and their children.
Mm. And how do you feel as time goes by, as the generations are growing up, as we're teaching them about this and then they're hearing our stories? How do you feel that this experience is different from other historical events that you've lived through?
It seems to be a lot more government control.
Talk to me about that a little bit.
Well, there's a lot of travel restrictions and businesses shut down, and a lot of economic issues.
If you could ask anyone in your life, living or dead, for advice on getting through this, who would it be, and what would you ask them?
I don't have anybody like that.
And
Sorry.
do you have any memories that will stay with you from this year? Good or bad?
Well, it was I mean, my wife was very sick, and that affected me in ways that were probably good, because she survived and she's doing well now, and it was sort of well, I didn't know what the future was going to hold if she didn't make it. And I don't know if that answers your question or not, but you can always edit that one out.
Did that make you feel afraid thinking about the future without her, or
No,
what
I
did
was
that feel
never
like?
afraid. I wasn't afraid. I felt helplessness, that powerlessness, that I like to be in control, and a lot of times I probably don't need to be.
That's one thing that I think the pandemic has taught a lot of us, is that control is something that's often not easily grasped at. If the quarantine ended tomorrow, what's the first thing you'd do?
Go to a show.
What kind of show?
A music show.
Do you have a favorite artist that you'd like to see?
Well, I would probably just go to the first one that's available to me.
Do you think that the landscape of the entertainment industry will continue to evolve? And have you felt that that's been enriched through this process, or do you feel that it's made it harder to have access to arts and entertainment?
Oh, next to impossible to have access to art. And that's some of the government control that I was talking about. Art galleries are closed. Movie theaters are open now, but the theaters where they have plays are not.
And Broadway, of course, when Broadway closed, that was a big deal.
Plays closed.
Arts and music have been a big part of your life. How have you found a way to fill that need, even with everything shut down and not being able to go to shows?
Well, I still support artists by listening to their shows, and buying tickets to their online shows, and buying their products.
Tell me about that experience. What's an online show that you went to in 2020 that you really found memorable?
Well, Nikki Lane did 4 shows every Wednesday night for 4 weeks, and I forget what month it was, April or June or something like that. And I watched all of those. I know Shaky Graves is doing one on the 9th of this month. I probably will make an attempt to watch that.
And as we bring our time together to an end, is there anything you want to say to me or anything else you'd like to add?
No, just stay safe and wear a mask because get a vaccine. Somehow we've got to control this if we can. And it won't change my world though, because my world was just like that before COVID. I have to wear a mask and have my hand sanitizer with me at all times. And, I have even more restrictions than just the COVID restrictions. I'm susceptible to getting any sort of cold or anything. So, and I have to worry about all kinds of stuff, but most people don't, and just stay safe.